So, welcome to today's episode. I'm so thrilled to introduce artist, entrepreneur, singer, all of the above, Nancy Loya. Thank you so much for inviting us to your new shop that opens up June 1st. How are you doing?
I am so excited. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. This is such a cute location.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming, and it's nice to kind of see everything come together, and like everything that was here, it's now in a physical
Person.
place, and it's very gratifying.
Awesome. So, let's take it back. Share with me how you ended up in our 915.
Okay, so I was born in Juarez. I moved to New Mexico when I was about 6 or 7. And then, yeah, I did like middle to high, like middle elementary, middle school, and high school in Deming in Columbus, New Mexico. And then once I graduated high school, I mean, most of my family's from El Paso, Juarez. So my grandparents were just getting a little older, needed a little more extra care. And we just moved here to be closer to them. And El Paso became home in 2013.
Awesome. So, when did this idea of La Planta, if that was even the first name that came to be, how did that all start?
So it was crazy because I wanted to be a doctor for the longest time. And in a biology class, I found out that I could grow beans. Well, I didn't find out, but I just did it for the first time. I sprouted something for the first time, and that was magical to me. And I wanted to do more of that, so I got some plants, and I was like, yes, more. So I became a plant freak. It happened very quick, and I had a friend. We were like plant geeks together, and we wanted to open up. Like, it was his idea. Like, hey, we should open up a plant shop. This was pre-pandemic. It was like 2018, 2019. I was like, a business? Never thought of it, but I guess it could be cool. Like, I've always liked art and stuff. So, like, in a creative aspect, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, like, to express yourself through a business, right? The name was going to be Leaf Us Be.
That is so cute.
That's cute. I know.
I like that.
But he moved jobs. We kind of lost touch. Plants like fell through the cracks. The pandemic happened. But like a lot of people, I nerded out even harder during the pandemic, like with the plants. Like, it was just crazy. I was a mad scientist. And I was like, every now and then, the idea of because I kind of threw the plant shop idea out of the window. I was like, okay, it's not happening, whatever. But sometimes, like, it would still linger, like, I would have this and that, and I would use these songs, and I kind of like this aesthetic, and I would just visualize it, and I couldn't help it. It would just come to my head like randomly when I was in my most creative flow. Like, those thoughts would pop into my head, like the business. But I was like, no, biology, stick to the plan. And until one day, once I had a name for it, it's so weird because when it was Leaf Us Be, I just didn't feel attached to the name.
You didn't resonate.
It didn't resonate. I liked it. I thought it was super cute. I love puns. But I couldn't own it, like, you know what I mean? But one day I was having one of those thoughts, and then I was like, La Planta. La Planta.
That's awesome.
Like, I was eating, and then it just freaking came to me, like, because I wanted to be like a feminine energy.
See.
And you know how the Spanish language is very binary. It's like la planta, plant is a female word. So I was like, okay, that works. And also I wanted it to like show my culture, through that. And yeah, I short and simple La Planta, and I loved it. So I started making like little designs on Canva
How
because we already
cute.
had like an Instagram for Lifas Bibo. We had 0 posts.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, this is gonna happen. And I made another Instagram. I made like a I made like a little logo. This was my first time using Canva.
Uh-huh.
I made a logo. It was like it was a fuchsia circle with
Mhm.
a monstera, a green monstera, and it said like in blocky letters, La Planta in
Mm.
black letters. Um and it was like that for about 2-3 months. For
Okay.
about 2 months. And then later I got a couple plants. I started selling to my friends, and it just kind of started growing exponentially. Like people from Deming, actually, a person that I went to high school with that moved to like Los Alamos.
Mhm.
That was my first order ever, and I
Oh,
shipped it out.
qué
Shout out.
padre. That's so cool that you could ship it out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if since it's a plant.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. You have to secure it a lot, but I enjoy that a lot. Like the packaging process.
therapeutic.
Yeah. Um but yeah, then I reached out to designers, Daniel McDonald. He designed my logo with the Texas
I
Monstera.
was gonna ask you about that. That is so
I
sick.
love it. He's awesome. He's based in Dallas, but he's from El Paso, Texas, and full-time graphic designer. And I didn't know that I wanted that until he presented it to me, and I was like, "That's perfect. I love it." Like I sent him like colors, little things like that. The La Planta handwriting is my handwriting, so I just
Okay.
like
Sent him
I sent him a picture of
Sí.
that. I wanted something that had some movement in it, you know? And that's just how I was signing off all the little letters that I was sending to my clients. I'm like, oh, that should be in the logo. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. And I love it.
How cute. How did you meet the graphic designer?
It's Instagram, just
Okay.
like friends in common, I guess. I was just scouting. Actually, I think he reached out. I don't remember who reached out to who, but I do remember like that connection being very meaningful.
Of course.
Yeah,
it's-
and he
it's your
still
brand.
has done some really cool projects with me. Like we launched this collection of t-shirts. They said Latinas with plantitas.
Oh,
It was
that's
so cute. I'm gonna bring it back. Those were so cute.
Definitely. Yes.
But he designed the
You
t-shirts.
can hang them up here in your new shop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be so cute.
Yeah, Latinas with plantitas.
Okay, so online, that's how you started selling your plants, and it transitioned to you opening up a shop.
Mhm.
What did you have to invest first starting online only to sell plants? So like the materials, anything social media wise, and then to now.
So honestly, the biggest investment has been plants. Luckily, like doing I've been doing the plants for it's been 4 years, and my setup for pop-ups has been pretty simple throughout the years. Like I used to have what's it called? Like little shelves, like portable shelves that I could fold, and then I kind of transitioned to like blocks and like center blocks and just planks of wood. I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more raw. And so that wasn't a big investment in that sense. So mainly where I would spend most of my money, like business wise, it was merchandise, like yeah, for my inventory, stickers, of course, any merch that I have at the moment. And with this, I mean, now you have like the rent, any renovations, like any paint, any fixtures. So it hasn't been too bad. Luckily, I was not that I was how can I explain? Like the process of me getting a physical location has not been a long process. Like this has been a matter of like 2 months. I've been preparing this for about a month. So it hasn't been a long process. But I wasn't unprepared, if that makes sense. Like I already envisioned it. Like when they gave me the keys, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Like maybe not in detail, but I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. So it wasn't hard to curate.
So share with me this occasion how you met up with Café con Leche and that connection, how it translated to this. Share with me that story.
So I'm a big believer in manifestation. And I love this place. I love Café con Leche, the burritos, the coffee, the vibes, the vinyl. I love it all. And I've been connecting with Café con Leche for a while, actually. When Julio had the coffee shop here, this was one of my pickup spots. So, like, let's say, when was it? Like 2020, 2021. You could either buy La Planta here, or you can pick up your plants that you had already ordered from me here.
Okay.
So it was always like there was always a connection. But recently, so I live somewhat close, and we were passing by, and my boyfriend was like, "Hey, you know what I was thinking? It would be cool if you took over the little cafe at Café con Leche." And I was like, "Yeah, that would be cool." And it just kind of stayed a comment, like. And later that night, there was like an event, like a vinyl drop. And we were talking to Julio, and he had mentioned like that he wanted to lease it, and like both of our light bulbs turned on. Like my boyfriend and I were like, "Oh, hey." So, and that's really how it happened. A week later, I had my keys, and it was showtime.
Es todo. And
Es
then you brought
todo.
your best friends here, your
Yeah,
babies.
my babies, to make everything look beautiful. Like honestly, it's not hard for a place to look pretty with plants. Plants make everything so nice.
You're absolutely right. If your plants could say something and like actually speak, what do you think they'd say about their new location?
Mm, they would probably tell me to turn off the incense. Or
Wait,
they'd be
but
coughing.
okay.
I'm
Do
just kidding.
plants not like the
They don't like smoke, but
Okay.
I just put the incense not close to them. But I make sure to have good airflow when I turn it
See.
on. But I love incense, so they're gonna have to put up with it.
So where do you grow your plants? Is it in your backyard or do you have
So I'm just kind of like
specific?
the middleman. Or I hate that word, not middleman. I'm their foster mom.
Okay.
Their caregiver for the time being. I have a greenhouse on the side of my house.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and that's
cute.
that's their little daycare.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So another little silly question. If you could describe yourself as a plant and why, what would it be?
Like which plant would I be?
Sí, ¿y por qué?
Hmm. So I heard you say earlier that your birthday was in August. Are you a
Sí,
Leo?
I am.
Okay, me too.
Eh.
So I think I'd probably be a monstera deliciosa. So this big guy over here.
How beautiful. I love those plants.
Yeah, they're low maintenance. Well,
Mhm.
somewhat low maintenance. They like bright indirect sunlight and water just right before they're dry out. But they're very dramatic in the way
Mhm.
they grow. They're
Mhm.
big leaves. They're just big. They're
See?
flashy. So I think I'd probably be a monstera.
That's awesome. I like that. When's your birthday?
August 4th.
Mine's August
Oh
6th.
my
We're gonna have to
god.
celebrate together.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. Um, what role do you think plants play in embracing people's mental health and
Oh my
well-being?
gosh, I think that is huge. That is huge.
Talk to me.
So, and okay, this has been like an ongoing sentiment and also like an ongoing lesson that I keep learning and learning. It just gets deeper and deeper. Um, During the pandemic, I know a lot of people were struggling with mental health. Luckily, I was living with my family, so I was not feeling really lonely. Yes, I miss my friends, but I had my family.
Mm-hmm.
But plants for me during the pandemic was like very experimental, but for a lot of people, a lot of my clients, that was like the only interaction they were having. And
Mm.
so they played a crucial part during the pandemic for a lot of us. And so in that aspect, they're very important. But also now we're living a post-pandemic life. People went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
People are downsizing on their plants because they can't keep up with all the plants they bought during the pandemic.
See.
um, but I feel like plants are such a clear image of how your mental health is doing.
Mm.
At least it is for me. And I've talked to a lot of other plant lovers out there, and they can testify with this. When they're not doing good, like here, their plants are a mess. Like there's all these yellow leaves, and
That's
they
crazy.
even get like bugs and not enough dirt, just like in bad shape. And
Mm-hmm.
once they have it in their will to do something about their mental health, like I need to start brushing my hair, I need to like
Go
go
outside.
outside, get active, they start with the plants. And for me
Mm.
too, like when I'm feeling down and just like um extra potatoy, like
See.
sometimes it's for weeks, and sometimes you're just in a funk.
See.
I get burnt out really easily. I
Mm-hmm.
always start with plants. Like I start taking off the dead leaves, I water all my plants that I've been neglecting, and once I see like the new growth, or actually I don't even have to wait to see the new growth. Like as soon as I start taking care of them, like it gives me the space to meditate on how I can take care of myself. Like if I start
Mm-hmm.
with them, it's like the first step to self-care, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because we're all connected. Like although I call them my babies and stuff, they're not my babies. Like we are so equal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're more equal to me than I think. Like they're
Other
more equal
people.
to us. They're not our pets.
Mm-hmm.
They are our companions.
Mm.
And yeah, our mental health reflects a lot on them. So they take the hit. They take the hit too, but it shows us how to be nurturing. Like I didn't grow up with younger siblings, and I didn't really grow up with younger cousins or any younger kids than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought like, oh, I don't have a maternal like instinct. I don't have
Mm.
a like that nurturing instinct. But with plants, I'm like, yeah, I
You kind of
do.
have to have one.
And it's not that you have to, it just shows you that you do. Like you
Mm.
just step up to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know, it's different for a lot of people, but for me it starts with curiosity, but it opens up the space for deeper stuff.
That's crazy. I recently, well, I've had this plant in my kitchen windowsill and I've been watering it, and some days, like maybe last month, it was dying. And now I bought a new plant. I actually got soil for it. I got ¿cómo se llama? What is a pot?
Hmm.
I got a pot and it's like blooming. It's getting even bigger now. And then we're the only house on our street with like big like flower trees. And so those are blooming too. So you're right, it is very therapeutic, and it's just that time like watering my plants. There's so much to water, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like I even like put the hose up on top to make it seem like it's
Like
raining, just
raining
because
on them.
like you said, it's therapeutic. So I feel like that's just important, and it's all frequency. Maybe
Yes.
that's why, some plants feel down when we're actually down.
Yeah, and it's if you don't take care of something, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't take care of your dog, if you don't take care of your plants, like any living thing will take a hit from that.
Mm-hmm.
It needs maintenance, it needs nurture. It's like I can't expect my mental health to be good if I'm not doing the basics, if I'm not drinking enough water, if I'm not going outside, if I'm not moving, if not,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't take care of the basics, you're not gonna perform. Your head is not going to be as sharp. You're going to see the difference. And so are plants. Like if you're not giving them the water, if you're not cleaning the leaves, like they're not going to thrive. And if you can't do it to yourself, of course you're not going to want to do it to plants. But I do think that plants are a good start to gain that momentum of um like
Kind of form a new habit in a way.
form a new habit and just start new. Like, and if it's starting new every week, then so be it. If it's starting new every 2 weeks that you get like a downer, like that's okay. But just know that that's always a good start.
Tip. Have you had a client or a customer buy so many plants from you that you're kind of like, wait, hold up,
Oh my gosh.
I was here yesterday.
Yes, and
Really?
I love you guys. I honestly have the best clients. And this is something that I didn't expect. I mean, I was hoping I'd have cool clients when I started La Planta, but this was just not something I'd expect. There's been just so many meaningful connections throughout La Planta, and it started very early on. Like I remember, I mean, the pandemic was rough, and a lot of times it was like, oh, send my grandma this plant, like she hasn't seen anyone in 2 weeks or stuff like that. Like I would drop it off, the abuelita would come out and start crying, like just very like I'd be in my car like
How cute.
okay, bye. So very meaningful. I remember one time, this was like 1 week into La Planta. I get this message from a client. She had never messaged me before, and it was like 11 p.m. Luckily, I'm a night owl, so I was right awake. And she was like, "Hey, what kind of plants do you have right now?" So I sent her the kind of plants I had. She bought like 6. I'm like, "All right, cool." And months later, I mean, she kept buying plants like every week.
Oh wow.
Every week, like 2-3 plants every week, and she's still
She's so
yeah, she's
consistent.
still very consistent. But like a month or two later, she was like, "Hey, so that night that I reached out to you to see what plants you had, my grandpa had just passed away, and I needed something to feel better. And I saw your page, and I had been wanting plants for a while, and I just knew that caring for something was gonna make me feel better, and it has." And she had a monstera, and she had just sprouted a new leaf, and she's like, "And my monstera that I bought from you, like it just sprouted a new leaf, and it just gave me so much hope. Like I feel like I'm becoming a mother again." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
That is
So
cute.
it's like things that like, who comes up with these,
These
like
stories, these experiences.
I never expected to have these type of connections, but I'm so grateful to be able to be a part of someone's life through plants, like through such a magical thing that is plants. Yeah, the people are great. I love you guys.
I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go wipe my tears really quick. So what advice would you give to anybody discouraged on starting their plant parent journey? If they say, oh, I can't keep a plant because I won't.
So that's like the main thing that kept encouraging me to open up La Planta.
Okay.
Because as I was like telling my friends, like, dude, imagine if I opened up the plant shop and it had this and this and that, they'd be like, dude, just do it, just do it. They're like, that's gonna be so cool, but I can't have plants because I kill them. But if I could have plants, I would buy some from you.
See.
And I'm like, you know what? Just because of that, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna teach you how to take care of them. I'm not gonna leave you like blind. Like I'm gonna tell you how much water they need, like little tips here and there. I mean, when people go to my pop-ups, like my throat hurts the next day because I'm like, did you know that this is da, 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 da?" Like I just don't shut up about plants and like
See.
how to take care of them. But it's so important to me to show people how normal it is to kill plants. Like even the best plant parents out there kill plants, and that's okay. It's part of the journey. Um, it's so like the 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 good outweighs the bad, like in times 10. Like the feeling of owning a plant, and if you kill two plants but one gives you that beautiful leaf, you feel just like the best plant parent in the world. Like it
See, you
just
get excited.
cancels every doubt.
See.
It's just a great feeling, and it keeps you curious. It keeps you wanting to learn more about it. Once you get that new first leaf, you're like, oh my God, I need to do more of this. What did I do? Okay, now I need to keep doing that. And okay, I got this other plant, but it doesn't like what I've been doing to this one. So what? Okay, what's the name of this? Oh, okay, this is a whole family of plants. What do they like? So you start digging and digging and digging, and it's honestly really interesting. Plants are really cool. So if it's not the sentimental or mental health value, look at it in a like they're freaking cool type
They're
of.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I feel like with La Planta, especially with you being so connected, they're not just buying a plant. They're buying kind of a plant with a guide, with you always being on call, answering any
Yes.
plant questions and just helping, the community just
Keep
keeping
on being
plants
green.
surviving.
I
Yeah.
always say like hit me up if you have any questions about this plant that you're just getting, like let me know. And if you get a new leaf, like let me know. I want to see too. Like keep me updated. And I have really good memory too. Like
Good.
I remember not everyone's, but a lot of people's like plants. Like if you bought a plant from me 2 years ago at this pop up, I'm like, hey, how
I
is
know
your peace
you.
lily going? Like,
Oh,
and they're
wow.
like, you remember? I'm like, yeah, I don't know why, but I
It
do. How
just
is she
clicks.
doing?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so talking about our community, how do you involve the community in your business, whether workshops, volunteer opportunities, collaborations?
So that's something so important to La Planta, like to me, to La Planta. It, since the beginning, I knew I wanted to bring the community with me. I knew I wanted it to be more than just a business. I wanted it to be like a community hub. Virtually, while it was just La Planta on Instagram, and now with the physical location, I just think the opportunities are endless. But art is a big part of my life, art and music, and I think that little by little I've been able to incorporate La Planta with those two art forms. For some time I was doing these pots where so I get 10 pots and I give them to a local artist. I've worked with a couple local artists, Moy the artist, Kachis, Diego Robot, and they paint 10 pots, and 30% goes to them, 30% of the profits, and 70% goes to a nonprofit of their choice. So we have been able to donate to Meals on Wheels, the America's Immigrant Advocacy Center, Rainbow Center, like a bunch of good organizations that help a lot of people. So that was like a really cool way to incorporate not only local artists or art itself, but also
Everyone.
everyone that's doing something in El Paso, like, or not just El Paso, just good nonprofits that help a lot of people. So that was that. I still want to bring it back. I stopped for a while. I got a little busy and it got a little hard, but I do want to bring that back. It was a really cool concept. I also would host these like terracotta painting nights,
Oh,
and I would like
cool.
make this playlist, and you could like drop by at any time. It was like from like 12 to 6,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like a tutorial. You could just go
Come
nuts.
in.
You
See.
could paint whatever you want, and I'd have the paint. You grab your pot and just
That is so
it was a
cool.
vibe.
This would be another location like outside.
Mhm.
Side note, that would be so cool to just come
It's
in and do
cool.
that.
Yeah, so those are coming back for sure. I think
Mm-hmm.
that with the cafecito that Cafe con Leche provides and the vibes, I mean,
The possibilities
the
are endless.
possibilities. But also, I work very closely with MF Pearl. My friends David and Evan, they run MF Pearl, and it's super cool. It's like a tiny desk type of concept
Mm-hmm.
where they record at Star City Studios, and they bring up this artists not just locally but also from outside El Paso, and they record them like very good quality studio quality sound.
Mm-hmm.
It gets mixed there, and it gets released on YouTube or on all social media.
Mm-hmm.
But I provide the plants, like, so I do the plant staging, and sometimes like some of those artists have like concerts,
Mm-hmm.
so I also do that with MF Pro,
That's
and it's really cool.
awesome.
I really really enjoy being part of that.
I have seen your plants at MF Pro. I
Yeah.
saw Crystal Poppin do an episode and I saw some plants in the background. That's
It's so
awesome.
fun. They get to share the space with such talented people. They're like
See.
they're my little artists too.
Uh-huh.
My little plants.
See.
You can't hear it, but they're singing in the background. They're
The background singers,
dancing.
yes. Talking about singers, you are a singer as well. Talk to me about your
Yeah.
little singing journey.
So I love singing. I love music. I love singing. From a very early age, I've kind of always been a singer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, when I was little, only my parents loved it.
See.
But it always kind of stood out. So let's see. Seventh grade, I joined choir. I kind of didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Me being the Leo, I was like, nah, I want to do more like solo stuff. This is too many people singing the same
Yeah.
thing. But I was in seventh grade, so now I regret it. I'm like, dang, I should have learned more.
Mm-hmm.
But so I got out and I took woodworking.
That's
Didn't
awesome.
learn anything, but I enjoyed it a lot. And then once high school arrived, I joined mariachi. So I have a
Mm-hmm.
brother who's 4 years older than me, and he kind of paved the way into my musical journey
Okay.
by him doing it first. So he started music first through mariachi.
What's his name?
Alfonso,
Alfonso
shout out.
Loya. Shout out to your
Yeah.
brother.
So he's honestly like one of the most talented individuals I know. He
See.
can pick up any instrument and just go crazy at it and already play you like your favorite song just right here. It's
Wow.
super cool. But yeah, he started mariachi. He had taken violin, I think, like in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he started with a guitar in mariachi, and then he
Mm-hmm.
moved into violin, and he's really good. But um when he was a senior, I was a freshman,
Mm-hmm.
and I picked up the guitarron, the big
Mm.
bass, boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
Her name was Lola,
How
Lola
cute.
La Grande. But yeah, I love that instrument. I love the bass.
See.
Um, so that was kind of like my startup with music. And when the teacher was like, or the mariachi director, he was like, "Hey, who wants to sing?" I was like, "I guess." So
Wow.
I got up there to sing. Like you had to like audition for.
Were you nervous?
No,
You just did it.
I just did it.
See.
I don't know why I wasn't nervous. I just, eh. But that stood out because a lot of kids. I mean, you're a teenager. You're shy about everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that stood out. Not. I bet there was people that sang better than me, but because I wasn't shy about it, it was like, all right, you're singing that song and that song and that song
Mm.
and that song and that song. So I just kind of became like the school singer,
Okay.
not just with mariachi, but
In
in
general.
general. And I was in a rock band called Rock Paper Scissors.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very short lived, but it was fun. We would cover like Avenged Sevenfold and Blink 182 and,
Qué
like
padre.
punk stuff. Um, so that was fun. And at the same time, so mariachi is a huge thing in Deming.
Mm.
Huge. It's almost like as strong as football. And football
Wow.
is strong. It's like anything in a small town is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big mariachi community, and I got to really mm, get training with my voice. Mariachi singing is a very particular type of singing, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of diaphragm. And so I got some lessons through mariachi. We would do like these conferences in Tucson, in Las Cruces. And I think honestly, mariachi is bigger in the US than it is in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
At least it is more, and I, this is a hot topic, but it's there's more money in it, you know.
Mm.
In Mexico, mariachi is more like a vocation, like you just kind of are born into it, and
Continue
you
it.
continue it or you get into it, but it's very novel. It's a very novel vocation. And in the US, it's kind of a little bit more sophisticated. Like you
Mm-hmm.
get your conferences and you get trainings, and there's a big network. And so
Wow.
I was lucky enough to have been part of that, and I got a lot of connections and a lot of cool classes and trainings that I wouldn't have had
Mm.
otherwise.
That's awesome.
Mariachi's crazy.
I know your brother's really artistic as well. Do you guys ever bounce back and forth ideas that you guys have?
Yeah. So he went to school for filmmaking in NMSU. But he still does a lot of music. He does his own music, and he also does like a lot of covers. He enjoys playing piano a lot and singing too.
Mm.
And so yeah, I would say that we do bounce off ideas off each other. Like he's helped me with some La Planta videos. And
Mm.
yeah, any musical question that I have, he
You go to him.
yeah.
That's
Or
awesome.
any video stuff, I go to him.
That's awesome. We can add in where we met, which was at
Okay.
the Balanced Peach
That was
Mamacitas
so
Nalgonas
cool.
event. I thought it was so cute. Because I know like this whole thing like guys isn't allowed,
Hmm.
and so I told Mikey, my brother who was there, I said, go buy your shirt. You're here to help me set up. And so he saw you with your plants, and he told me after he never really saw like any plant store. He's like, what the heck, that's so cool. And so anyway, he helped you, and then that's when we kind of
That
met.
was so cool. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, like talking to you guys and just the connections in that place. The vibes were there, but you guys were a lot of fun. He helped me a lot with the carrying the plants. But yeah, I like that a lot. It was so cute to see like the moms and the kids,
Yes.
and it was very powerful.
What's it called, the sound bath. That
Mm-hmm.
was, we even set our cameras down, our plants down, we
We were
joined
like,
in for a little
okay,
bit.
we're gonna lay down and we're gonna take all this in. It was
Yeah,
so
it was
nice.
so cute. So shout out to Balanced Peach.
Shout out.
Gachis and
You
Miss
girlies are
Brenda.
doing it.
This
Yeah.
is what networking does when you go to events and collabs. So awesome. Okay, so before we close out this episode, do you want to shout out any of your favorite local shops here in El
So big
Paso?
shout out to Café con Leche, of course. Honestly, so many businesses have helped me throughout the way. We've connected a lot. I've been like in every coffee shop in El Paso, and I love it. I love you guys. Thank you for giving me a space. Not just coffee shops, anyone who gave me a space to pop up and sell my plants. Like big shout out to Lost and Found, Viejo Cafe. Like you guys are the OGs. Like, thank you for that. And I'm also super excited to bring these artists into the store: Honey Power, Saint Ria, Tootness. Um, it's gonna be great. Like, I want you guys to see how great El Paso is, and I hope La Planta serves its purpose in showcasing all the talent in El Paso, and even from out of town. I just want to make sure that this is a place where everyone feels safe and welcome to enjoy plants and art in the community and grow together.
I love that. Not only that, but your mindset, your mental health, and
It's
all
important.
of the above.
We have to take care of ourselves and then take care of our plants, or take care of our plants and then take care of ourselves, whichever comes first. But let's do this.
There you go. Alrighty. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with the one and only Nancy Loya. And we will see you on our next episode.
Thank
Adios.
you. Bye.